second generation queer Korean American, a child of immigrants, child of diaspora, and child of organizers. I'm an organizer myself.
I am an artist, an educator, and an activist here in Boston.
I am a Chinese American immigrant, and I'm an artist and designer and organizer.
So I found you guys on Instagram. I saw one of the shirts and it just said Angry Asian Girls over and over again. I immediately was transported back to high school in Norfolk, Virginia. We had like a huge Filipino population, and I just thought about my senior year when one of my best friend's parents took me in, gave me an insight just on how different and the same Asian identity is to other marginalized identities. So I had to get to know you and get to know your story. Can you talk about how you came to decide, like, yes, we're building a space for the Asian community, we're gonna dispel these stereotypes against Asian women, but also we're gonna hold space for queer people of color and POC in general. Like, you guys have had whole discussions on anti-Blackness in the Asian community. I mean, you're really doing the work.
I think like we're not reinventing the wheel. Like, we're not the first people to do this. I feel really grateful to have been in Boston at what feels like the right place, the right time, right? Like seeing all these organizers also doing the work. And I think we really built off each other with like, this is how you cultivate a space. We like borrow a lot of our safer space guidelines from organizers in New York who are doing the work.
Let's get into this shirt. You have to show it off.
Donby and I met at the Asian American Women's Political Initiative, which is one of the only initiatives of its kind that kind of pipelines Asian American women and femmes into the Massachusetts State House. And we had to do a fundraiser for the program, so we designed these shirts. And we never could have thought it would take off the way it did and that so many people would want to wear it.
But it's really turning a stereotype on its head. There's this awful stereotype of like the docile, passive Asian woman, and it's almost like whereas Black women are like automatically labeled like angry and why aren't you smiling? It's like the opposite. It's like people try to like silence Asian women and say they don't have a voice.
Cute.
You're so
like
cute.
kawaii.
Even now, we wear these shirts and we're like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah. We're trying to kind of take those labels so that we can find each other, because I think that's how they're valuable. You can find community that way and then transcend them and really be like, you know, this is how all the ways in which we exist, and they're all beautiful, they're all valid, and they're all what our community looks like.
Who are some of the Angry Asian Girls that you all admire and stand for?
I would say everyone in our community. Like, we look up to our community.
Yeah. My mom, she immigrated to the US when she was 13 years old, and like when she was in college got involved in the Asian American Studies movement and like has been organizing on different capacities. I'm continuing that work and standing on her shoulders.
And there's like literally no one in my field that I see doing the work that looks like me. But then like what Lucky said, I see people in our community who look like me, who are doing that work. And so I think it flips the narrative on its head on like who your idols are, who your inspiration is, because we all don't have one person who's like doing it right now, who's made it.
What does it mean to be an ally?
When are your ally shirts coming out?
Yeah.
Cool, so fun.
Like, I like to decenter whiteness as much as possible. So I think about that question in like terms of us, right? Like, how can we be better allies to our community? If you have the power, if you have a seat at the table, bringing other voices up, bringing other people to that table and making sure they get paid, making sure their time is respected and that they're honored as like an artist or creative or in whatever capacity you're trying to get information from them, you know?
Angry Asian Girls looks like this, and maybe it goes against your notion of what you think angry would look like or what protest would look like.
Righteous anger can look like love. It should look like love.
And I think our anger comes out of a place of like loving our communities and thinking that they can be better and knowing that they can be better. So.
I know, right? We need like a shoe and nail pic. It's so cute. Oh my God. I want like an iPhone pic.